I know, look at the memories, though,
Yeah.
Todd, that you're bringing back. Because when hip-hop, it's a 50th anniversary.
Right.
Years ago, Quincy Jones said to me, I knew hip-hop was here to stay when the Pillsbury Doughboy started rapping. I knew that it was part of the culture. When did you know, when you were first starting out, I know you didn't envision 50
question,
years,
Gayle.
but what did you envision when you first started out? Did you think that it would have staying power? Because so many people did not.
Well, I'll tell you, when I first heard hip hop, which was, hearing the Cold Crush Brothers and the Force MCs and, Flash and Furious 5 and Treacherous, to me, it was just the biggest thing in the world. And it was, in my mind, it was already everything that you guys and ladies are seeing and hearing now.
Right.
So the way the world views hip-hop culture now, how big it is to everybody, it was already like that in my mind.
Wow.
It was amazing. I had never heard, people like myself sound so empowered before. Ooh, because you got to think about it. A lot of times, the visuals that we would see on TV would be, we'd be handcuffed going into a police car or hearing some kind of weird sound, like some weird story.
Right.
But this was like positive. It was ego and it was braggadocio, but it came from a place of a desire to make it. It was aspirational.
It was our story.
It wasn't just like showing off for the sake of showing off.
Yeah.
It was about I am somebody, that kind of messaging.
It was empowering.
It was empowering.
Celebrating that
Celebrating
vision as well. And that's something that's really big with you, I know, is you like to show kids the early days of hip-hop and the music. You really want other generations to really understand the history.
Yeah, well, Rock the Bells is dedicated to celebrating, elevating culture, hip-hop culture, and we have content, commerce, and live experiences. And we connect the brands to the fans. So like a lot of brands, they may want to talk to the hip-hop community. They come through Rock the Bells. The fans, when they really want to celebrate hip-hop, they come to Rock the Bells. Like, everybody knows that this is a home. Like, if you look at what we did last year, and, we were here and we were talking, and then you think about how timeless hip-hop is everywhere now. This was the mission of Rock the Bell. So I'm just glad that people are embracing hip-hop culture the way they are, and I'm happy that, we were part of leading that charge, and we're leading it.
You once said that, and I've never forgotten it, whenever sometimes I give you credit, sometimes I don't, because I love the line so much. You said that there are no deadline on your dreams.
Sometimes I give you a credit, sometimes I don't.
That's Gayle's tagline.
No, I always give you credit, but I love it so much.
That's a great
deadline on your
line.
dreams.
Yeah.
And I wonder what your dreams are, because for many people, you are the dream. You are living the dream. People look at you and say, that's what I want.
In many different ways,
In
Gayle.
many different ways,
Yeah.
exactly right.
Inside and outside the studio.
Exactly.
You really just, there really is no limit. And I say dreams don't have deadlines because it's true. You have people watching this show who have things that they've been thinking about doing, but that fear, maybe that little second thought has kind of hindered them from going forward. You got to push past that.
But you're not slowing down. You have new dreams?
Of course, you have to. Part of really going to the next level, you want to maximize your potential while you're on Earth.
Exactly.
So, my job is to, elevate hip-hop culture. My job is to throw these festivals. My job is to go on tour and show people that hip-hop can go to another level, that you can have a long-term career, that you can take it to the Carlos Santana level and keep rocking forever. You know what I'm saying? And so, yes, my dreams are consistent, and they're lodged in my mind. And when you have a vision, you have to go after it.
Yeah.
And you have to be determined to make it. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how I move.
I love that hip-hop is old enough to appreciate their icons.
Yeah.
Now, rappers don't need to be a certain age. They could be whatever age and still rock the stage and still tour, and we can still support them. So I'm glad that you're touring and putting out new music. We're all excited about that.
Yeah.
So what can we expect from the new music?
I mean, I'll tell you, the new music, Q-Tip executive produced my album, and it's called The Force. Frequency is a real creative energy. And this, I think it's something like nothing I've ever done before, because me blending with Q-Tip kind of takes it to another level. And it's just really new and really fresh. And I think the tour is also going to accentuate that, right?
Of course.
I'll do a little new music, but obviously I'm going to dig in the crates and do the classics. And the other thing about this tour that's special is that the Force tour when people come, this is a nonstop party. So the Roots would it's like kind of what we did at the Grammys. The Roots will start at the beginning, and all of the artists that are on the tour will perform one after the other and with each other and together, and it's going to be a super mashup, like a mixtape. So once you come in, just get your popcorn and get ready.
That's what I'm talking
baby.
about.
You just need to get more excited about it. That's all.
Yeah, I really do. I really do. Yo, Gayle, could you give me some coffee? Can somebody bring me some
I'm
coffee?
see you next week on Superfan, which debuts on CBS.
Which is a lot of fun, and
that's
we're
right.
focusing on the music.
Randall Park, good to see you. Congratulations.
Thank you so
Congratulations
much.
on your directorial debut, because I believe you certainly nailed it. But what fascinates me about this story is when you read it years ago, and as we sit here today, you said you related to many of the characters.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, I hope he doesn't relate to Ben. Why? Because in the movie at different points, Ben has told us, try new things, Ben. Kindness, warmth, basic acts of decency. And there's another line where a friend says to him, change is hard for bleeps like us. Did you relate to Ben?
Well, yeah, Gayle, I'm a horrible person. You know?
He's not a horrible person, though.
Well, listen, we're all kind of complicated and messy, right?
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
yes,
mean,
yes.
I did. I wouldn't say I fully related to Ben, but, when I was younger, there were definitely parts of me that were very opinionated and everything that I
You
thought
your
was...
opinion was right?
That's right. That's right. I was younger, and then eventually you grow out of that. You mature a little bit, and I think Ben is kind of maturing, or in the midst of
Evolving.
possibly maturing. Yeah.
I also think it's fascinating because I think many people feel that the Asian community is monolithic.
Yeah.
Just the way they look at black people, that they think is monolithic.
That's right.
And so it was very interesting to me as I was watching it. There's a scene in there where Miko and Ben, and he says to her, and he's Japanese? And that was very upsetting to him.
Yeah.
What is the message you're trying to, or are you trying to send a message about this particular
I'm not
movie
really
community?
trying to send a message. I was with that. It was really about kind of keeping things real and reflective of the
Is that
actual.
a thing? Is that a thing?
Yeah, I mean, there's within the Asian
Korean and
community, every
Japanese.
group has their own complicated history, and we're just kind of showing that dynamic. Yeah.
And some of the conversations which you talk about are real conversations in the Asian community, interracial dating.
Yeah.
Because Ben likes white girls, and so that becomes a big topic.
Yeah.
Also,
And he doesn't
representation
hide
in
that,
films.
Natalie.
Yeah, he
He doesn't
doesn't.
hide that,
And they
yeah.
know,
He's a
all the friends know.
complicated
Yes.
No?
Yeah.
So how important is that representation in films and some of these themes that you touch on?
Again, it just goes back to keeping things as real as I could, and reflective of people that I know, and people within the community that I've been and that I know, and for me it was about reflecting that real life, and that was what was most exciting for me about this movie.
Yeah. Using the word reflecting, it's basically holding a mirror up to society and saying, this is who parts of you are. And these are the type of movies that we relate to. So well done, you nailed it. You were on target with that. But speaking of your reflection, as you look in the mirror, what do you see yourself as? More of an
very
actor?
handsome.
Oh, okay, yep. Keep going. Handsome, smart,
Other than
intelligent,
the obvious.
tall, athletic.
Tall, 6'2",
Yeah.
very humble.
Very humble.
No doubt. But do you see yourself as more of an actor or a director? Because you said you feel very comfortable, almost more in your skin as a director.
Yeah, that's a good question, Nate. I think, I always saw myself as a storyteller and an actor, and a director second, but after this experience, I kind of just see myself as both. I loved it so much. It was extremely fulfilling, and I definitely want to do it again. So it's definitely part of who I am.
Speaking of fulfilling, you gave an incredible speech to the UCLA grads, the graduating class this year. You talked about disappointments in life and how that it can actually lead to great opportunities.
Yeah.
What were some of those things that led you to where you are?
Oh my gosh! I mean, you can't be pursuing a career like this and not experience disappointment. It's like a part of it. It's just a part of the game. And I think the challenge is to every time get up, brush yourself off,
Yes.
Yeah.
take the hit,
Yes.
get up,
Learn
brush
from
yourself off,
it
keep moving.
and
Yeah.
keep going, keep going.
Yeah, keep going and learn from it. That's right.
As we sit here today, you know that writer's strike has been going on now 3 months, and today, for the first time, they're going to sit down for the first time in about 3 months.
Yeah.
I know this is a crucial time for everybody in your industry.
Yeah.
Yes.
What are you
Yeah.
thinking? What are you feeling about this?
Well, you know, it's an odd time to have your feature directorial debut come out and to not have the actors be able to promote with you. But I mean, it is time. It is the right time, and we're in full support of the strike, and hopefully, you know,
Are you
with the
feeling
movement happening
optimistic?
today,
Yes.
yeah.
Optimistic about what you're hearing?
I don't know. I don't know what to
know.
feel. I don't know what to feel, but I do feel that it will get resolved eventually,
Yeah.
and that hopefully today is a step in that direction.
Randall
but
Park,
who
we
knows?
appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Shortcomings in theaters
Well
now.
done.
As Gayle says, go see it. Run, don't walk.
Walk. Oh boy, Alex Newell joins us in studio. Listen, that piece is a showstopper.
It is.
Every single night.
It is.
It is. Yes, she goes, it is. Thank you very much. What's it like for you?
Crazy.
Crazy?
It is. It's strange. You know, you pour yourself, I always say this, you pour yourself into your art and you pour yourself into your role and whatever you're taking on to. And I came into this process 10 years into it, and I poured myself because the material itself is so brilliant. And to have people just feel joy for 2 hours and 15 minutes every night is brilliant. Also, I love the corn everywhere.
I know, isn't it
Yes.
nice?
Oh, we got you covered.
It's gorgeous.
I
Thank
mean,
you,
but,
thank
but
you.
this play is so fun. Listen, when I went to see it, I said, I'm going to leave before, I'm not going to hang around.
Just stick around for a little bit.
But by the time it was over, Nate, I said I wanted to meet everybody in the cast, everybody.
It's a
you in
wonderful
particular,
ensemble
because
piece with that.
number one, you think how could a play about corn be so entertaining, so funny, so clever, and it is, Alex.
It is. I'm very lucky that it's a show that is at most just about heart.
Yes,
and our
yes,
heart
yes.
is our corn,
Yeah.
allegedly.
Yeah.
And so that if that's our way to show community in love by corn, I'm with for it.
You have
Really connected with your character, Lulu. Tell
Yeah.
us about her.
You know, she is quick, she is independent, she is affirmative in her own life and affirms other people's lives. And I learned so much from playing this strong person in my own life. And I apply those lessons of like, I've built this wonderful career of my own, and it's okay to need someone else at the same time and look at the fruits of your labor.
LL Cool J was just here, as you know, and he was talking about there's no such thing as a deadline to your dreams. I'm
No.
wondering what your dreams were, because you go from an ensemble player, but now the minute you come out on stage, people just go nuts
Yep.
Yeah.
before you even open your mouth.
to a standout amongst
Yes.
standouts.
Yes, very good point.
Yeah.
What is this journey? Has it been a journey? Maybe it hasn't been a journey for you.
It's always a journey because you never know what it's going to be like until you have your third character, the audience, in a musical.
Yeah.
If the jokes don't land, if the notes aren't good, if they don't believe you, that is it. So this journey of finding this lightning.
But what was your dream growing up?
My
What did you
dream was
want
to be on Broadway. I wanted
Was
to be
it?
Nell Carter. I wanted to be Nell Carter. I
you?
wanted to be
Okay.
Jennifer Holliday. I wanted to have my little statue.
that.
I knew that before I did anything else in my career.
You need to
This was
have
my
that
first love.
vision,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Speaking of having your statue, your Tony acceptance speech in June was emotional. It was heartfelt. And it was also history making. I want us to take a look. Let's check it out.
I should not be up here as a queer, non-binary, fat, black little baby from Massachusetts. And to anyone that thinks that they can't do it, I'm going to look you dead in your face that you can do anything you put your mind to.
So that was emotional. I want to ask what that moment meant to you, but you had some self-descriptions in there, and there could have been things that you recalled. But I also would like to ask, how would you like to be seen?
Oh, just to be seen. You know, I think in our climate right now, we're trying to erase things that we don't understand. We're trying
Or
to
things that make people uncomfortable.
Yes.
or that they just don't get. And it's not for you to get. Just see me and respect me as the human that I am on this earth. You know, I was told that I was too fat to play roles on Broadway. I was told that I was too sassy, I was too black, I was too much, I was too loud. And to be on that stage and win one of the highest awards in theater was life affirming, like life affirming. It told me that I had space in this space. And if that is a glimpse that someone like me in a smaller town like Cobb County can look upon that on the YouTube later and feel that they see themselves represented and that they can do anything they put their mind to, I'm all for it.
Seems like all those things that you were too much for ended up creating.
Yes.
Have worked out in your
It
favor.
worked out, honey. Now my wigs are big and my dresses are too.
Now you're a role model for so many. What does that mean to you?
I never like saying role model because it starts to make it feel stagnant and disingenuous. I want to be an example and a beacon more than anything. Just because I make mistakes, I'm not going to get it right all the time. I'm not going to want to get it right all the time. And I want everybody to know that there is beauty in your errors, beauty in your flaws, and you can be on the other side of any struggle that you have.
Well said. And we have to say, yesterday, they were moving. Yesterday, she said you were moving yesterday.
I literally, I'm living in a
moving
new apartment.
apartments.
There's boxes everywhere. I haven't unpacked my kitchen at all. I'll get to it, I promise.
And then you come in looking flawless.
Oh, you moving? Oh, so that means the money is good, huh? Okay, Alex.
Yes, honey.
All right, moving on up is what they call
I
that.
moved down, honey. Been downtown.
I like that, Nate, though. The money is good. Alex Newell, we are cheering you on. Shucked, run, don't walk to see this play if you get the chance. Currently playing at the Nederlander Theater right here in good old Nederlander Theater right here in New York City.
TikTok star and stylist Brandii Stuart helped her clients redevelop their style and their closets, but then turned the mirror on herself. Now, her recent clean out of her closet went viral on TikTok. She swapped out 100 pieces of fast fashion in her wardrobe for 42 secondhand and vintage items without spending any extra money. That is the key. Brandii Stuart joins us now to share some of her tips with us. Good morning, Brandii.
Good morning, guys. Thank you so much for
course.
having me.
Glad
Love
you're here.
this. I love this philosophy of yours, and I adhere to this as well. You know, you want more quality but less clothing, right?
Absolutely,
Yeah. Tell us
absolutely.
what was your fashion journey and why did you come to this?
So I'm really fascinated at the correlation between personal style and psychology. I think that it's really important that we understand that what we put on our body really affects and reflects how we show up in the world. And I'll be honest, for myself, I had 100 pieces of clothes, and yeah, they were from fast fashion, but I think the bigger picture was I wasn't authentically showing up for myself. Every time I put on my clothes, I wasn't really feeling good. And I'm like, there's something just not clicking here. Why do I have all these clothes? And I'm like staring at my closet like, what's next? So I did a lot of framework within myself, and I realized that I was not expressing myself authentically. So I learned about sustainable style, which I think is super important. However, it's very expensive. Sustainable style is an investment. You buy sweaters for $150. I don't got that kind of cash. So I asked myself, what's the next best thing I can do? Secondhand, vintage. Those two things right there, you can shop for low cost, but you can still contribute to a healthy environment. And guess what? You can really authentically define your own personal
And
style.
get the quality you're looking
Get the
for.
quality that you're looking for less of a price because, as I said, it's pretty expensive and not in this economy, child. I don't have it, okay?
Yes.
So it's definitely important that I use my resources.
What's the definition of vintage, Brandii?
So anything that is vintage is a piece of clothing that is 20 years or older. So everybody on this stage is vintage, including myself. They're all vintage. So anything that's over 20 years is considered vintage.
I just did something with the Real because I'm doing a closet clean out.
Love that.
They took away 16 ginormous bags of clothes.
Wow.
16 ginormous. I had over 500 items because
Gayle.
I just felt
Exactly.
I was overwhelmed.
Bags?
I was
500
overwhelmed.
items.
I was really overwhelmed. I was really overwhelmed.
And, yeah.
And I also donate to other people around the country too.
Beautiful.
So I'm trying to really get this right and do
Yes.
this right.
Yeah.
You're doing it
But
right.
what do you say? I used to go shopping. It was in Oprah's closet. Stuff she was giving away. I walked away very happy.
Oh my gosh,
Anybody
that's
over
the
the
closet. We all want to shop her
What do
closet.
you say to people that turn their nose up? Oh, secondhand clothing, no thanks.
Here's what I say. You should never turn your nose up to something that is contributing to a healthy environment and contributing to a better you,
Yes.
right? So at the end of the day, also the clothes are clean. No one's asking you to go dig in a bin and get somebody's used drawers. What we're asking you to do is just simply shop sustainably and secondhand to contribute to a better environment and keep
You
these
say shop like a stylist. What
yes.
does that mean?
So all that means is to shop with intention. You have to go in there with a game plan. If you're just browsing leisurely,
Is that wrong?
everybody don't have coins like you, Gayle. So yes, it is wrong. If you look like me and you are on a budget, you
Okay,
cannot,
Brandii.
I'm just saying, we're trying to get there now. But I'm just saying,
Yes.
you have to be intention. You need to set a budget. You need to have a
laughing at, Nate?
Nate knows.
Speaking of real, she kept it real.
Hello, Pot.
But I
Go
love
ahead,
it.
Brandii. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I love what you also say, though, is swapping.
Swapping.
The idea of, like, with your inner circle of friends and family. And
Absolutely.
Gayle swaps, as she said,
did.
so that's key.
Yes,
Yeah.
Gayle mentioned to me that she donated a lot of her clothes to fellow anchors, and I think
Yes.
that is such a beautiful thing, and that's the philosophy that I'm just simply trying to preach is donate your clothes or give your clothes to people who really want to wear them. Who does not want to be in Gayle's closet?
Of
You know what I
course.
mean?
And listen, I'm giving Gayle a hard time.
Gayle,
She
if
does
you
give
want to
away
swap
a
to
ton.
me,
Oh, I bet.
She gives away a ton.
Yeah, yes.
Not just her clothing, but her energy. But I have to ask this, Gayle, because I fell into this space of purchasing fast fashion. It's just, it's so accessible.
It's so
Your phone,
accessible.
something pops up, it's easy to order.
Absolutely.
And then one day I
It is
woke up and I
inexpensive.
looked in my closet and I just got so much stuff that I don't wear.
You don't wear.
And I
It's falling
force
apart.
myself to wear.
Falling apart.
When I
Falling
wash
apart,
it. And then when I put it on, I don't feel like myself.
Nope.
Yeah.
So how do you get out of that cycle of being trapped into fast fashion?
Well, first of all, you have
That's
to.
a good question.
That's a very good
Yes.
question, Nate. And first of all, you have to understand why you don't need to be shopping fast fashion as much. You really need to understand the mechanism behind why fast fashion is not the best for our environment or for you.
True.
There are chemicals on the clothes. These clothes, the way that these clothes are made is just unethical. And you really have to really deeply ask yourself: am I sustainably supporting someone else's life, right? And you're not.
And I want the difference between cheap and higher quality. How do you know?
Well, first of all, it depends
In
on the
less than
person.
30
Just say,
seconds.
okay, so at the end of the day, when you're looking at those clothing tags, always look for your natural fibers, your cottons, your linens, your seasonable wools, your cashmeres, anything that's biodegradable, you need to have in your closet.
Brandii.
Brandii with 2 eyes. Thank you so much. We'll be right back.
we like Brandii.
Thank you so much. Okay, so when I'm coming back, child.
The depths of most of the world's oceans are largely unknown to humans, but a new book argues it is crucial to our survival to change that. The Underworld Journeys to the Depths of the Ocean highlights the stories of scientists and explorers who are working to uncover the sea's mysteries. Author Susan Casey has spent her life studying and exploring the ocean, including going on 2 dives in submersibles. One of them took her more than 3 miles below the surface of the Pacific Ocean, a depth few people have ever traveled. And Susan Casey joins us now. Good morning, Susan.
Morning.
So nice to meet you.
Likewise.
You call those who study the deep sea aquanauts, or they're known as that. You yourself, I guess now one of them as well. It's such a passion for you. But there's so much of the deep sea that we do not know yet. We know a lot about space, but what do we not know, and why is it so important?
Well, if you think of the Earth as a biosphere, it's 98% ocean, and 95% of that 98% is deep ocean. The water's below 600 feet. So we not only live on an ocean planet, we live on a deep ocean planet, but we've only mapped about 25% of the seafloor at high resolution. So every time they get more maps at high resolution, it's like the Hubble telescope got its lens put on.
Right.
And they find volcanoes, they just find incredible things every time they look closely.
It's incredible. And you talk about the importance. We know, of course, the risks of traveling, and it's, as we saw this summer with the Titan submersible implosion, it comes at great risk to those who put themselves there to study this. But what is the importance of that information, and how could it potentially save our planet?
Well, the Earth works in all kinds of intricate systems interact to create, we've evolved to survive in a certain state of the Earth, and the ocean is such a big part of that, that in a time of global warming and things changing, the status quo that we're used to it's in flux. Yeah. We are going to have to understand how all of these systems work together, and the ocean is I call it the motherboard of the planet, and we really need to know how things are working, and it's complicated. So,
Susan, I want people to understand your passion for the water. Number one, full disclosure, I work with Susan Casey. She used to be editor-in-chief at Oprah Magazine. Wow. And after reading your book, and I've known how much you love the ocean, I thought, how were you able to even do an inside day job? Because as a little kid, you said the Pacific Ocean is your playground. Some people want to go to Bora Bora, the Serengeti, or Paris, but you always wanted to go to the abyss. You were obsessed with it even as a child. What was the fascination for you?
I think it was that you look at water and you could see near the surface there would be fish, and it's like you go through that surface and there's a parallel universe down there. It's another world within our world. It's like that dream you have where you go into your house and there are new rooms in your house.
Yeah.
The ocean is just the entire house. So I wanted to know what sort of party is going on down there. There's just so much happening, but we never see it. So curiosity dictates.
Susan, to most people, that is the scariest thing in the
Yeah.
world.
Yes, yes.
And you have this deep passion for it,
Yeah.
like Gayle is saying.
Yes.
And along with your curiosity, your education, I do want to know, have there ever been moments where a little bit of fear has set in or uneasiness, or is it truly just perfectly fine once you're deep sea?
I think with fear, of course you have moments of fear, but when you're so in awe of what's happening, there's no room for fear in the present moment. So maybe it would come before or after, but just the awesomeness of, seeing this place that has, not that many people have the opportunity to see. And that's really what I wanted to bring back was the experience. So yeah, it's scary, but it's scary and you don't care because you're having too much fun and it's too awesome.
I know. She says, Nate, that the wonder and fear don't cancel each other out. And my favorite chapter was the Twilight Zone because you really give us a blow-by-blow of what it was like for you when you go down there. But when you talk about these submersibles, you say they have huge safety records. I mean, that they are considered really very safe vehicles. So when you read and were following the Ocean Gate, what were you thinking? Because now, for most of us, we just think that they're scary and dangerous.
Because of the Titan submersible.
Yes.
What happened?
Yes.
That submersible was such an outlier. Manned submersibles, there aren't that many that can go to that depth. Aside from the one in Titan, there are only 6 others, 6 or 7. And they all have spherical pressure hulls because the sphere is what's going to keep you safe. And everybody in the manned submersible world, it's a very tight-knit, small world, was just kind of terrified of that sub because it's one thing to be a disruptor, but it's another thing to try to disrupt the laws of physics. You're going to withstand this pressure when you're down there, and the craft has to be built, not just to withstand it, but like 20, 30, 40% more. And it just wasn't, and it's tragic.
It was very tragic. Well, Susan Casey, this is such a great book.
Planning
Thank you
in
for bringing
dive,
us.
Susan Casey.
Yeah.
As soon as possible.
Okay.
Gayle wants to go.
We'll be following along.
We've had this
We'll watch
conversation.
from afar.
No, Gayle doesn't.
Our series, Changing the Game, highlights extraordinary women who are making a difference. And this morning, we're introducing you to Claire Sulmers, the founder and CEO of Fashion Bomb Daily. It launched in 2006. The blog is now a go-to source for fashion news and celebrity style. And one of her goals is to use her platform to shine a light on diverse voices within the fashion industry. Claire Sulmers, good morning.
Good morning.
It's
And
so great to
congratulations
be
and
here.
bravo.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
And look at you. I can see why you would start the Fashion Bomb Daily. You
Thank
are
you.
a picture of pure fashion right now.
Thank you. We're aligned with the
We
Mint.
are. I
Yes.
did not plan this. I'd like to say I did. But what inspired Fashion Bomb Daily?
Well, I've always loved fashion, always loved reading magazines, and would just never see women who look like me, or enough women who look like me. Women of color, women with curves, with different sorts of hair textures. And so I always used to write into magazines and ask them to feature more diverse women and was not really getting a response. After I graduated from Harvard, I would send letters to
You graduated from where? Sorry?
from Harvard University.
Harvard, okay.
Little university called
Yes.
Harvard.
Let's
But I would-
just savor that for just
Yeah.
a
We
second.
could
Go
let that
ahead.
marinate.
All right.
But I would send my cover letter and resume into different magazines and ask them to join the staff. And after receiving rejection letter after rejection letter, I just decided to start my own thing.
I'm going to do something.
But you got good advice to do that, right? I mean,
Yes.
it really was coming from other people saying, you have to do this. You have to change the game, right?
Yeah, I did have a webmaster who was like, you should start a blog. And I was very scared to do it. I was afraid of losing my job.
What was your job?
I was a fact checker at Real Simple magazine.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so I started off in journalism.
Okay.
And I was afraid to lose my job, but I just decided to go for it. At first, I was anonymous, and then suddenly I was in Teen Vogue as the blogger of the moment with Marc Jacobs.
But when they but let's really get to the nitty-gritty, Claire, of what you did, because it said when you went for it, you would crash fashion shows. What does that mean exactly? Because it's very difficult to get an invite to a fashion show.
Right.
So what exactly did you do?
I would try to dress the part as best as I could and just finagle
You'd
my
walk
way
in with a camera, you'd being a camera person?
I would have my little digital camera and just walk in, maybe say a name that I thought might be on the list and get in there. And I didn't really have a blueprint. There was no blueprint for what I was doing, no one that I could really look to as somebody who could inspire my success at the time. And so I just was kind of going with my gut and just made it happen.
But I love Fashion Bomb Daily because it's not snarky, it's not mean-spirited. How do you describe what it is and what it does?
We are educational and aspirational. And so we just present people with great style. Like, I'm going to blog about your looks today. And we say, she's wearing a dress. This is how much it is. This is where you can get it. And what do you think? Now, our readers are extremely opinionated.
Yes, they are.
And they're known for telling people if they're
And
hot.
honest, yes.
Or
hot or
Yes. But
like
we
that.
just try to be educational and try to be on top of it. So every single time Beyonce steps out on stage, we're telling you who she's wearing.
She's always hot.
And who her stylist is. So we also give credit to a lot of the glam team, hair and makeup people who help make these looks
it's
become
very well
reality.
done.
Deserve that
Very well
attention.
done.
So give us some practical advice then. What are the 3 things people should have in their closet?
I always say a good blazer. I think a blazer always helps people look put together and fabulous and in an assortment of colors. Black pumps as well.
I love color.
Yes.
But the other great thing about you is you've gone from being in the fashion shows or crashing the fashion show to now having your own fashion show.
Yes, so we have the Bomb Fashion Show. It's taking place September 9th during New York Fashion Week. You're all invited.
Which one is this for
that.
you?
This is our 3rd annual fashion
You
show.
now put on your own fashion show.
We now put on our own
Celebrate
fashion
that.
shows. Yes, because when I was coming in, there was really no way in for me. I had to crash my way in. And so now that I have a wonderful platform, I want to use it to empower and uplift people who might not have an opportunity otherwise. And that's really my mission in everything that I do is to highlight and uplift people. If you have a passion for fashion, if you're motivated, then you can get a feature on Fashion Bomb Daily.
Well, Claire, mission accomplished to you.
Well done.
Thank
Keep
you.
up the good work.
Thank
Claire
you so
Sulmers,
much.
thank you.